Tutorial to create journal voucher. Step 1. From the menu bar, choose Accounting Entries, then Journal Voucher, and select Create or Edit Journal Voucher menu. Step 2. Click the New Entry button on the right of the screen to start making an entry. This creates a new system-generated transaction number, which cannot be changed by the user, and all entry-related default values also get set. If you want to check the last journal voucher from this terminal, you can click the Cancel button. After clicking the New Entry button, always make sure that a new transaction number and all entry-related default values have reflected. When making a new entry, do not use the mouse and click on fields to enter values. We will be using the Enter key to move from one field to the other. This also ensures that data validation is completed. Step 3. The cursor is on the reference number, which is where we start the entry. If you are using a manual voucher, that number can be entered here, otherwise, you can leave it unchanged. The reference number must have a value, has to be unique, and cannot be duplicated. Press the Enter key when done. Step 4. We are now on the Date field. Type in the date of your voucher, or select the date using the date picker. When finished, press the Enter key. Step 5. The focus is now on the Notes field. You can edit the notes if required. Press Enter key when done. We now move to the voucher details, where we enter the account and debit or credit amounts. If the account needs to be debited, we will enter amount in debit column, else we will apply amount in credit column. An account will have either debit or credit amount only in a row. The journal voucher has a minimum of 2 rows, one for the debit amount and other for credit amount. We can make additional debit or credit entries if required, but the net debit and credit amount should always be equal. There are 4 ledger types, namely debtors, represented by the code prefix 01. Similarly, the code prefix for other ledger types are 02 for creditors, 03 for employee ledgers, and 04 for general ledger. Step 6. Enter the appropriate prefix 01, 02, 03 or 04 and press Enter to bring up the lookup list. From the lookup list, type first few letters of the ledger name and press Insert key. Use the arrow keys to move up and down the list. Choose the relevant row and press Enter key. Step 7. We are now back to the voucher entry screen. Press Enter key again from the ledger ID column. This displays the ledger name as saved in the master. The ledger name can also be edited if required. Press Enter once done. Step 8. The focus is now on the explanation field. The value of the note field appears here by default. This can be edited to record any relevant remarks for that row. After editing, press Enter to move to the debit column. Step 9. Now, you can enter the debit amount, if any, for that ledger, and press Enter key, else do not make any changes, and simply press Enter to move to the credit column. Step 10. The focus is now on the credit column. If you have already entered a debit amount, simply press Enter. If not, enter the credit amount, and then press Enter. The detail row gets added, and a new detail row gets generated automatically. Repeat steps 6 to 10 until all journal details have been added. Do not make any editing to the new row generated at end once all details have been added. The summary of debit and credit amounts applied can be verified from the top, and it has to be equal. Step 11. Click the Save button on the right of screen to complete the voucher entry. Step 12. You can click on the Print button to generate a document for the voucher. Click the printer icon on the top left. From the screen that appears, you can select the printer, and then click the Print button. Step 13. Click Close to exit print screen. We are now back at the voucher entry screen. Step 14. Click Exit to close the journal voucher entry screen, or repeat from Step 2 if you want to make another journal voucher.